The message of light finds you now, through the noise of the world and the blur of routine. A voice beyond time whispers to your heart. Do not turn away from what you were meant to hear. Every day passes like wind over the desert, but there are moments that stop the wind, moments that hum with a quiet certainty that something larger is asking for your attention. You have felt it before, that invisible weight pressing behind your eyes, that spark that says there is more to this life than breath and repetition. When the message arrives, you know it by the way your chest tightens, the way you cannot scroll or move on. The light has a language that no one teaches. It speaks directly to the pulse. That is what this moment is. This is the chapter of wishes, of hearts opening to possibility. If you stay to the end, you help the current of creation move through you. Here, intention becomes a living frequency. Close your eyes and send one thought into the vastness, something kind, something real. Write it in the comments if you wish, and place beside it the number 66, a symbol of harmony and renewal. When many hearts move in unison, the universe brightens, and unseen energy begins to gather around those who believe that what is hoped for can become what is. Let that be your sign that goodness still listens. And now, return to the center of the message. The world tells you to hurry, to consume, to forget. But the voice of light says, remember who you are. There are powers, not of fantasy, but of awareness, that grow when a person remembers. You are not a mistake placed in flesh. You are consciousness shaped into matter. When you choose to listen, you open the old door that leads inward, past every label, past every wound, into the quiet realm where truth burns steady. This is where the darkness begins to retreat. It does not vanish in a burst of sound. It slips away because it cannot feed on someone who has remembered their worth. Many will call this superstition. Many will laugh, as they always have, because the mystery threatens their control. Yet history has always turned on the hinge of one person who refused to forget the whisper that said, "You were made for more." The light does not ask for obedience. It asks for recognition. It invites. It does not trap. To answer it is to take up the mantle of the chosen, not chosen above others, but chosen to awaken first, to hold the lantern high so that others may see their path. Every generation hides these lantern bearers in plain sight. Artists, healers, strangers who smile at you when you were about to give up. The path of light is not gentle. Once you see, you cannot unsee. The false comfort of ignorance tries to pull you back, offering the soft pillows of forgetfulness. But your heart, now awake, will ache if you pretend not to know. You will feel a new gravity, a pull toward honesty, toward compassion, toward courage. It will burn sometimes, yet within that burn lies transformation, like metal meeting fire only to emerge purified. The chosen walk through heat so that others may walk through dawn. Listen carefully. The darkness you fear is not an external monster waiting to pounce. It lives in apathy, in the small surrender of giving up your kindness, in the moment you decide it's easier not to care. Each time you choose indifference, a small piece of light dims. Each time you act with empathy, a small sunrise appears. The balance of the world depends on countless invisible acts of quiet goodness. You may think your effort insignificant, but the universe counts differently. It counts persistence, sincerity, and love that expects no reward. You may wonder, why me? Because every message must land somewhere. Because someone must start the echo. Because the light is patient, but not wasteful. It knocks on doors that can open. You, reading this now, are one of those doors. When you acknowledge the call, you change your timeline. Possibilities that slept begin to stir. You begin to notice coincidences that are not coincidences at all. You meet eyes with people who recognize something in you even if they can't name it. These are confirmations, gentle as feathers, that you are walking the right way. And when the storm comes, and it will, the chosen do not flee. They stand, trembling perhaps, but steady, because they remember that storms are not punishments. They are awakenings disguised as chaos. The light never abandons, it transforms. Even the shadow serves, for it gives the light shape. So do not curse your difficulties. Look at them as sculptors shaping your endurance. Each challenge refines your clarity, strips away illusion, reveals strength that was sleeping beneath fear. There will be nights when silence feels cruel, when prayer seems to bounce off the ceiling. Do not mistake silence for absence. The universe breathes between your words. In that stillness, guidance forms, slow and deliberate. The chosen are tested not by grand miracles, but by the patience to wait and still believe. Waiting is the fire where trust is forged. The age of noise has convinced many that doubt is intelligence. But there is a wisdom older than doubt. It lives in intuition, in the quiet certainty that something good is guiding us even when logic fails. This is not blind faith. It is sight beyond sight. When you cultivate that vision, you see patterns others miss. You begin to live synchronously with meaning instead of accident. The chosen life is not luck, it is alignment. As you continue listening, let these words fall through you like light through water. Do not rush to understand. Feel them instead. Somewhere inside you already know what they mean, because the soul never forgets its own language. The mind may argue, the ego may resist, but the deeper self hums in agreement. This hum is your compass. Follow it. Every person carries within them a garden and a battlefield. The garden grows when we nurture gratitude, forgiveness, curiosity. The battlefield rages when resentment and fear take root. The chosen task is to tend the garden even while the war screams nearby. That is the quiet heroism that changes worlds, watering the soil of compassion while others burn bridges. There will be temptation to seek recognition, to prove your purity, to show the world your enlightenment. Resist that. True light doesn't advertise, it glows. The proof is in the calm you bring into rooms, the kindness you extend without cameras, the peace that lingers in your presence. The universe trusts such souls with greater influence because they wield it gently. Remember that every great movement begins within one heart that decided not to turn away. One candle in a vast cave changes the entire shape of darkness. One act of genuine love ripples farther than logic can track. You are not small in this design. You are an essential note in the symphony. Without your frequency, the music would be incomplete. When fear whispers that you are foolish for believing, answer it softly. I choose light anyway. That answer disarms every shadow. Faith, in its truest form, is not certainty. It is commitment to keep walking through mystery. And as you do, something ancient and vast walks with you. The air around you changes, the coincidences increase, your heart becomes a tuning fork for grace. So stay. Listen until the end. Let the message write itself on your spirit. This is not about superstition. It is about remembering the dignity of your soul. The universe speaks in moments like this because it knows attention is the most powerful prayer. You have already answered by being here. And when you finish this chapter, carry its echo into your life. Treat every encounter as sacred, every word as a seed, every breath as a gift. The chosen path is not a single moment of revelation, but a lifetime of small, luminous choices. Walk it with courage, and the world around you will quietly begin to change. The journey continues, and with it, the weight of knowing grows heavier, yet more luminous. There is no turning back now. The path you have glimpsed cannot be unseen. Every step you take resonates with unseen forces, carrying echoes that vibrate far beyond your comprehension. You are no longer walking for yourself alone. You carry the awareness of countless lives, both seen and unseen, that are touched by your decision. Rise, to stand, to embody light. The chosen ones are rarely heralded in the ways the world expects. They are quiet, often misunderstood, yet their presence shifts the atmosphere of every place they enter. It is in the small moments that the grandest truths reveal themselves. A smile offered to a stranger, a word of encouragement to the unseen, a gesture of patience when impatience reigns. The chosen act in ways that ripple, unnoticed by many, but profound in impact. These acts are not calculated. They emerge naturally from the understanding that the universe is alive, and your actions are threads in a tapestry that stretches beyond time. Each thread, each vibration, contributes to the pattern of harmony or chaos. The chosen know this instinctively. There will be days when your resolve feels fragile, when shadows press close, whispering that your efforts are meaningless, that your light is dim and inconsequential. On those days, remember that shadows exist not to destroy you, but to measure the strength of your inner flame. The universe tests those who dare to awaken, not to punish, but to refine. The pressure is not cruel, it is transformative. Like gold purified by fire, you emerge not only intact, but luminous, your energy harmonizing with the currents of creation itself. You may encounter others who claim to understand the same truths, yet are blinded by their own desires. Not all who seek the light are illuminated by it. Some approach with intentions of power, envy, or control, mistaking the sacred path for a ladder of personal gain. Be vigilant, for the chosen must discern sincerity from illusion. Trust your inner compass. It will guide you past deceit. But do so without judgment, for every soul walks its own course, and each is learning in its own time. The chosen ones carry a responsibility that transcends ordinary understanding. It is not one of dominion or command, but of stewardship. Every action you take, every decision you make, contributes to the subtle balance between creation and destruction, between harmony and disarray. To wield such responsibility requires courage tempered with compassion. You cannot act out of fear, for fear bends the will and fractures the intent. Act instead from a place of clarity, of knowing that your choices, however small, shape the unseen architecture of the world. There are moments of doubt that will strike like sudden storms. The world will tempt you with ease, distraction, and comfort. The path of awakening is arduous because it demands presence, awareness, and resilience. The chosen cannot afford the luxury of ignorance. They must see clearly, act decisively, and maintain a steady heart even amidst chaos. Each trial is an invitation to strengthen resolve, to deepen understanding, to cultivate patience that is not passive but active, a waiting that is alive with intention. In this journey, silence is both ally and teacher. In the absence of noise, the subtle truths of existence become audible. You will hear the faint murmur of the cosmos in a leaf's rustle, a stream's flow, a stranger's laugh. You will feel the pulse of life in ways that elude those who have not awakened. This is not mystical fantasy. It is perception expanded beyond the limits of conditioned thought. The chosen perceive the world as both material and energetic, tangible yet fluid, fleeting yet eternal. You will also discover that the challenges are not only external. The fiercest battles occur within. Doubt, fear, anger, regret. They rise like tides threatening to drown the unsuspecting. Yet within these storms lies the opportunity for mastery. The chosen one does not fight to destroy these forces, but to understand, to integrate, to transform them into wisdom. Darkness, when faced with awareness, loses its power. It becomes a teacher, a mirror, a shadow that defines the brilliance of the light. Every connection you make, every soul you touch, carries the potential for awakening. The chosen are conduits, not simply for themselves, but for a network of unseen souls, for the quiet pulse of the universe itself. Some will resist, some will mock, some will ignore. But your purpose is not to convince. It is to embody. The energy you radiate, the alignment you maintain, resonates in the hidden realms where intention becomes reality. Small acts of authenticity, honesty, and generosity ripple outward, unnoticed by the eyes of the world, but fully registered by the currents that sustain existence. You will feel the weight of your awakening as both blessing and burden. Insight brings clarity, but also responsibility. Understanding brings empowerment, but also vulnerability. When you see the true nature of life, the illusions that comfort others may disturb you. You may feel isolated, misunderstood, or even alienated. Yet this is the cost of vision. The chosen do not retreat in loneliness. They embrace it, knowing that solitude is the crucible where purpose is forged, and the inner fire grows bright enough to illuminate paths not yet visible. The journey also demands patience. Transformation, whether within yourself or the world around you, does not occur overnight. The chosen learn to move with rhythm rather than haste, to respect timing greater than personal desire, to nurture growth in ways subtle yet profound. Patience is not inactivity. It is a steady, vigilant force, a quiet discipline that aligns intention with action. In time, the patterns you plant will blossom. The energy you cultivate will manifest. The universe responds not to impulsivity, but to persistent alignment. There will come moments when the weight of the task feels unbearable, when the darkness seems overwhelming and the light within you flickers. Remember, light is never extinguished by shadow. It simply becomes more resilient, more focused, more determined. You are not fragile. You are not alone. The currents of existence flow through you, connecting you to forces older than time, deeper than understanding, broader than imagination. To recognize this is to step fully into your role as a chosen one, a guardian of balance, a beacon of possibility. The chosen do not seek accolades, recognition, or praise. They seek truth. They seek alignment. They act without expectation, trusting that their actions will find their mark in ways seen and unseen. Influence grows not from declaration, but from resonance. Authority emerges not from command, but from the integrity of purpose. When you embody these principles, the world responds organically, subtly, and irrevocably. You are both participant and catalyst, observer and transformer. Every day presents an opportunity to choose. The mundane and the sacred coexist. Ordinary moments carry extraordinary potential. A conversation, a decision, a thought. These are the threads from which the fabric of destiny is woven. The chosen one sees the sacred in the mundane, the eternal in the ephemeral. By maintaining this awareness, by holding steadfast to intention, you become a force of subtle yet profound change. Even as challenges continue to rise, know this: resilience is not the absence of struggle, but the mastery of response. Each obstacle you encounter is a teacher cloaked in difficulty. Each setback is a mirror reflecting areas still unrefined. By facing adversity with awareness, courage, and compassion, you convert hardship into energy, tension into insight, resistance into momentum. This is the secret of those who walk the chosen path. They transform life itself into the instrument of awakening. And so continue. Step deliberately. Walk with your heart open. Observe, absorb, act, reflect, and repeat. The chosen path is not linear. It twists and turns, rises and falls, challenges and rewards in equal measure. But at every moment, it offers the opportunity to connect more deeply with the inner fire, to resonate more clearly with the currents of creation, to illuminate corners of existence that would otherwise remain in shadow. The currents of existence are not random. They flow with purpose, rhythm, and intelligence beyond comprehension. As a chosen one, you begin to feel these currents, not as an abstract concept, but as a tangible presence within and around you. There is a pulse beneath the pulse, a quiet vibration that harmonizes with your heartbeat, that resonates with the intention in your thoughts and the energy in your actions. Every choice you make is a note in the symphony of creation. Every gesture you extend is a wave in the ocean of reality. To walk with awareness is to move in synchrony with the hidden harmonies that guide life itself. You will notice that energy responds to attention. When your mind and heart are aligned, when your intentions are clear, the universe bends subtly to echo your focus. This is not manipulation. It is resonance. Energy recognizes congruence and amplifies it. A thought imbued with sincerity, a wish carried with clarity, a kindness offered without expectation, all these become catalysts for events and experiences that seem miraculous, yet are simply the natural law of energetic alignment at work. The chosen understand that the unseen realm is as alive as the tangible one, that intention and awareness are forces just as real as gravity or motion. The process of awakening is like tuning an instrument. At first, discord dominates. Your mind, your emotions, your body, your surroundings may seem out of harmony. But as awareness grows, you begin to sense subtle adjustments. A misaligned thought is gently corrected by intuition. A restless emotion is calmed by insight. External circumstances shift in response to your inner clarity. This is the practice of alignment, learning to listen deeply, to respond deliberately, to act from a place of centered understanding rather than reflexive reaction. You will encounter points of tension, moments when the old world presses hard against your newfound clarity. These are not signs of failure. They are proof of growth. Resistance appears where light expands. for shadows cannot contain illumination without first attempting to absorb it. Every challenge is an invitation to deepen focus, to refine patience, and to strengthen the bridge between intention and action. The chosen do not resist these tests in anger or despair. They meet them with measured courage and unwavering resolve, knowing that each trial is a teacher dressed in the form of adversity. As you move further along this path, you will discover that the boundaries between inner and outer worlds begin to blur. Thoughts, emotions, and intentions no longer belong solely to you. They ripple outward, touching others, shaping circumstances, influencing the collective consciousness. The chosen are not isolated. They are conduits through which universal energy flows. You are part of a living network, a web of interdependent currents, each strand sensitive, responsive, and vital. Every act of awareness strengthens this web. Every lapse diminishes it. Conscious action becomes the instrument through which reality itself is refined. Time, too, reveals its secrets. The chosen perceive it not as linear, but as layered, expansive, and pliable. Past, present, and potential futures coexist as waves in a greater continuum. When you attune to this rhythm, you begin to see the consequences of action before they materialize. You understand patterns, recognize cycles, and anticipate shifts, not through prediction, but through resonance with the flow of existence. This insight is neither arrogance nor certainty. It is perception sharpened by awareness, sensitivity cultivated by discipline, and intuition amplified by consistent alignment. The chosen also recognize the importance of intentionality. Randomness exists, but it is the fertile soil in which deliberate action grows. Your choices are seeds, and their energy extends beyond immediate perception. A word spoken, a step taken, a thought embraced with sincerity, each becomes a vector of influence. Energy responds not to desire alone, but to authenticity, to clarity, to unwavering alignment between inner conviction and outer expression. To act without awareness is to scatter seeds into wind. To act consciously is to plant forests that will bear fruit in time. There will be encounters with others whose energy is discordant or resistant. They may challenge, provoke, or attempt to sway you from your path. The chosen learn to navigate these interactions with discernment. Confrontation need not be combative. It can be a space of observation, learning, and gentle influence. Energy does not resist without reason. It mirrors back the unresolved within ourselves. By maintaining clarity and balance, the chosen can transform tension into insight, friction into understanding, and resistance into opportunity. The body itself becomes a vessel for energetic attunement. Awareness flows not only through thought and emotion, but through every cell, every breath, every pulse. Physical habits, mental patterns, and emotional tendencies all contribute to the resonance you carry. The chosen cultivate harmony within themselves, for the body is the instrument through which energy is expressed. Nourishment, movement, rest, reflection, all become acts of alignment, reinforcing the bridge between inner clarity and external manifestation. Meditation, contemplation, and stillness become essential practices. These are not escapes from the world, but gateways into it. In quiet reflection, the chosen access deeper layers of perception, tap into subtle currents of guidance, and synchronize with the universal rhythm. In these spaces, intuition blossoms, insights emerge, and the inner fire grows steady and unwavering. The stillness is fertile ground for transformation. The quiet is an amplifier for the voice of awareness. The path of the chosen is also a path of service. Light is not hoarded, it is shared. Awareness is not kept private, it is expressed. Your alignment benefits not only yourself, but the world you touch. The chosen act as amplifiers, conduits, and stabilizers in an often chaotic environment. Their presence, though sometimes unnoticed, carries influence. A calm gesture, a steady voice, a compassionate action. These ripple outward in ways unseen yet potent, creating shifts in consciousness, subtle and profound. You may encounter moments of doubt and fear. You may question your purpose or struggle with the weight of responsibility. These are natural. They are the shadow of growth, a necessary companion to illumination. The chosen do not eliminate fear, they transmute it. Awareness and courage do not deny the presence of shadows, they integrate them, channeling their energy into clarity and resolve. In this alchemy, the chosen transform obstacles into wisdom, weakness into strength, confusion into insight. Even as challenges increase, the chosen remain attuned to the greater flow. They recognize that life is cyclical, that patterns repeat, that the universe balances itself with precision. External circumstances may shift unpredictably, but the inner resonance of alignment is steady. This steadiness becomes a beacon, a point of reference, a lighthouse for others navigating uncertainty. Presence, calm, and awareness radiate outward, influencing not by force but by the consistency of energy and intention. The chosen also understand that perfection is neither attainable nor desirable. Growth is continuous, understanding is iterative, mastery is evolving. The journey is measured not by completion, but by fidelity to the path, depth of awareness, and persistence in alignment. Every moment is an opportunity to recommit, to recalibrate, to re-engage with the subtle forces that guide life. Each breath, each thought, each action contributes to the ongoing symphony of awakening. And so, the chosen continue, step by deliberate step. They navigate the interplay of light and shadow, of energy and matter, of awareness and action. They cultivate inner harmony while responding to outer turbulence. They act with integrity, intention, and subtlety, knowing that influence is most potent when grounded in authenticity. The journey is neither easy nor always visible, yet it is profound beyond measure, eternal in its impact, and radiant in its unfolding. They trust the unseen currents to guide them, allowing intuition and insight to shape their steps without forcing the outcome. Each moment becomes a canvas for conscious creation, each encounter a reflection of their evolving awareness. Even in uncertainty, they remain anchored, knowing that persistence, clarity, and compassion leave traces far beyond what the eye can see. In this way, the chosen do not merely move through the world, they harmonize with it, becoming instruments through which light, purpose, and possibility ripple outward, leaving a legacy that quietly transforms everything it touches.